Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. So today we will learn how to install Elasticsearch on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS. The ELK stack consists of Elasticsearch, Logstash and Kibana, and with this we will use Filebeat, which is used to ship logs to Logstash, and this is a powerful combination which is essential for centralized logging, data visualization, and real-time analysis. So we will see the installation and configuration of each of the component of ELK stack and verify their setup. So first we will see the prerequisites. You should have an AWS account with Ubuntu 24.04 EC2 instance up and running. Then you should have at least 2 CPU cores and 4 GB of RAM for smooth performance. So let's move on with the practical. So our first step is install Java for Elasticsearch on Ubuntu 24.04. So first we will start by updating the system's package index. For that, command is sudo apt update. So let's copy it. Let me just clear it up. Now our package index is updated. So next, let's install the apt transport https package to access the repository over HTTPS. So let's install it. Now Elasticsearch components require Java to run. So we will install the OpenJDK, which is widely used open source implementation of Java platform. So let's install the OpenJDK. Now our installation is complete. So next, let's verify if Java is installed. For that, we will check its version. So let's copy this command and paste it. So as you can see, it's displaying the OpenJDK version, which means Java is installed successfully. Now, to ensure the stack components can locate the Java, we need to set the Java home environment variable. So for that, we will open the environment file. So let's copy this command, sudo nano etc environment. This is a path to your environment file. Paste the command. Now inside this file, we will give the Java home environment variable. Let's save the file. After this, we will apply the changes by reloading the environment. For that, command is source, then slash etc slash environment. Now let's see the Java home is set correctly or not, which is our environment variable. To see it, command is echo Java home. So as you can see, it is setted successfully. Now our next step is install Elasticsearch on Ubuntu 24.04. So Elasticsearch is the core component of the ELK stack used for search and analytics. Now to install it, we need to import the public signing key and add the Elasticsearch API repository to your system. So let's import the public signing key. Then we will add the repository definition. After this, we will update the package list again to include the new Elasticsearch repository. Then next, we will install the Elasticsearch. This may take some time, so I'll just pause the video until it's installed. Now our Elasticsearch is installed. So next, let's start the Elasticsearch service. Command is sudo systemctl start Elasticsearch. So let's copy it and paste it. Next, we will enable the Elasticsearch. After enabling it, let's verify the Elasticsearch is running. For that, we will check its status. So let's copy this command and paste it. So as you can see, our Elasticsearch is active and running properly. Now our next step is configure the Elasticsearch on Ubuntu. So let's copy this command. With this command, we will open the elasticsearch.yaml file. Here I will open another tab. So let's configure it. Scroll down. We are modifying it to allow the external access to Elasticsearch. So find the network host setting. So first, uncomment the network host. Then remove the IP and give 0.0.0.0, which will give access to the external devices. Then just uncomment the discovery seed host and discovery and empty the bracket. So what will this do? Here, the network host will bind to all the available IP addresses. And here you can specify the initial nodes for cluster formation in discovery seed hosts. Now we scroll down. Now for basic setup, in the begin security and auto configuration, here we will change the expect.security.enabled to from true to false. So this is not recommended for production. In production environment, you better keep it as true. Here we are just disabling the security feature. So let's save this configuration. Now next, let's restart the Elasticsearch. Now our Elasticsearch is restarted, which will apply the changes we have done. Now to confirm that Elasticsearch is set up correctly, we will send a test HTTP request using curl. So let's copy this command, which is curl-x get localhost colon 9200, where 9200 is the default port for Elasticsearch. Now you can see the JSON response, which shows the name, cluster name, and much more. You can access it using the browser too. For that, just go to your EC2 instance and copy the public IPv4 address, paste it in URL, then colon 9200 default port of Elasticsearch. Hit enter. You can see the same output which we have seen in our system. Now our next step is install the Logstash on Ubuntu 24.04. So let's install it. So Logstash is used to process and forward the log data to Elasticsearch. So that's why we are installing it. So installation is done now. Let's start the Logstash. Copy this command and paste it. Now after starting it, we will enable the Logstash. Now let's verify if it's running properly or not. For that, we will check its status. So as you can see, our Logstash is active and running properly. Now our next step is install Kibana on Ubuntu 24.04. So let's install the Kibana. I will open another tab for it too. Now our Kibana is installed. Now next, let's start the Kibana service. The command is sudo systemctl start Kibana. Let's copy it and paste it. Then we will enable it. Now let's see if it's running properly or not. So as you can see, our Kibana service is active and running properly. So let's open another tab. Now our next step is configuring the Kibana. So let's open the kibana.yaml. Now here we will, in the system Kibana server section, we will uncomment the server port. The default port number is 5601 for Kibana. Then we will uncomment the server host, and again we will change it to from localhost to 0.0.0.0. This will grant the external access and bind the all IP addresses. Now let's save the file. Sorry, I forgot one more change in it. So here in the Elasticsearch, we will uncomment the Elasticsearch.host. Now let's restart Kibana to apply the changes. Now let's access the Kibana interface. For that, we will copy the IP address of our EC2 instance, paste it in URL to colon and 5601, which is the default port for Kibana. Hit enter. So Elastic is not loaded properly. Check the server output for more information. So it may take some time to load the Kibana. So let's see the next steps first. Our next step is install the Filebeat on Ubuntu. So let's install the Filebeat. Filebeat is a lightweight shipper used to forward and centralize the log data. So let's install it. Now our Filebeat is also installed. So next, let's open the Filebeat configuration file, which will send the logs to the Logstash. So this command will open the filebeat.yaml file. So scroll down. Scroll down to the output section. Now in the output section, we will comment out the output.elasticsearch and host. After commenting out the Elasticsearch output, we will uncomment the Logstash output. We will uncomment the output.logstash and the host. Now let's save the file. After editing the configuration of Filebeat, we will enable the system module which collects the log data from the local system. So let's enable it. Now our system is enabled. So next we will set up a Filebeat to load the index template into Elasticsearch. So let's copy this command. So our server was not up, so it refused to connect first. Now it's server all right, so it's connected. That's why Kibana is also not started when we tried to access it. So now our next step is to start the Filebeat and then enable it. So first, let's start it. Then we will enable it. Now next, we will see the Elasticsearch is receiving data from the Filebeat. For that, we will check its indices. So let's copy this command and paste it. So as you can see, the Elasticsearch is receiving the data from the Filebeat. You can see all this data here. You can even check it by uh, accessing it in your web browser. Again, for that, let's copy this. Now here, you need to give your public IP address. So you can see all this data which is received by Elasticsearch, sent it from the Filebeat. Now let's try to start Kibana one more time. So let's copy the IP address, paste it, and give Kibana's default port 5601. Hit enter. So it's still loading, I guess. So now our Kibana is started. So this is the default page. Here you can start by adding the integrations directly, or you can just explore on your own. So click on explore on your own. Now after clicking on explore on my own, you can see the welcome page for your Kibana. You can see their observability, security, and analytics. Or you can get started by adding the integration by clicking on add integration. So today we have learned how to install the Elasticsearch on Ubuntu 24.04. We have successfully installed and configured the components of Elasticsearch today, and this includes the setting up Elasticsearch for search and analytics, then Logstash for data processing, Kibana for data visualization, and finally Filebeat for log shipping. So Elasticsearch provides a solution for centralized logging and data analysis, which makes it valuable for monitoring and analyzing the system performance and application logs. So Elasticsearch is important. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you.